What's up, guys? We're back on this 50 by 50 Barndominium build here in Waxahachie, and we're going to do a quick update for you guys and show you the current state of things on this project. So let's get right into it. I think last time we were here, we were doing some of the exterior finishes. As you can see now, we've got all of the trim put on the outside. We've also finished some of these exterior panels under the front porch, and you'll see that we've done soffits and some of the other paneling on the back. So I'll show you some of the things we got left, and we'll also show you where we're at. So let's get into it. Okay, guys, so as you can see, we've got all the walls sprayed. This is an open cell, and we do have 5.5 inches of sprayed open cell foam in these walls. We go for the extra thickness with the 2x6 studded wall. It gives us strength on the wall, as well as additional space for this spray foam. Now, you could use a more dense foam if you had less space, like with a 2x4 wall. You could use more dense foam and use a closed cell. But since we have plenty of space, we are using open cell on this. So in one of the previous videos, we were talking about our return being over here, and since it sits right up over here against the end of the wall, we don't currently have our insulation right up against that wall in that interstitial space. So what we will be doing is adding our insulation there. The spray foam guys probably were a little confused. They didn't know what to do there, but we're gonna get that insulated. And then we will take another board, like a zip board, and put it on the outside of the insulation or on this side of the insulation, and then that'll get sealed as well. So this will continue to be a true sealed return box, but it will not have insulation in there, so it's constantly, drafting and pulling in whatever's in that area. So it'll be just a complete sealed off return box. So we are pretty much just about ready to do some drywall and tape and bed, things like that, because we have our ventilation fans are all in place, recessed cans, all of our electrical outlets are in place, our plumbing rough-in is done, and we're ready to make this a home. So we wanted to make a conscious effort of trying to get this condensate line to penetrate out of the wall and come as straight as possible without, having too big of a hole for your AC line, without having some huge hole. So I had them sweep that condensate line to where it could come through the wall a little straighter. And we do have added protection on the back side of this because it kind of sits closer to that side of the wall. It's equivalent to like having a nail plate all the way down. And we probably end up adding that on this side as well, because this will be a closet area there'll be some shelving that will be tied in on this part. So I'll show you, we do have the exhaust for the vent-a-hood is in place. That's right there. We also have our power for our vent-a-hood here. Of course, under cabinet lighting, we'll have under counter lights, or not under counter, but under cabinet lights. And we'll have an island as well in the center here. Before we move on to the next part of this video, I want to show you why spray foam should not be considered your last end-all resort for air tightness. And this is one of the reasons why we use the zip system on the exterior, so that we can seal all penetrations and get everything airtight on the outside. But you can see already, I found a couple spots here where you can see some of the shrinkage from the spray foam, just in a couple spots in these locations. There was another spot, right here. So we're gonna get these sealed up, and we'll go through here and look for any additional spots like that now. But this just shows you that this spray foam can have a little bit of shrinkage with it. So keep that in mind if you're building and you are depending on the spray foam to do the trick. Now, if you use a closed cell, you'll get a lot better results with that as far as not having the shrinkage. It's more dense and is a stronger material than the open cell. But even though we're filling the wall and we've got a good R factor here, it's not enough for air tightness. So that's why we go to some of the other measures. So we're here in the shop, and as you can see, we've got the electrical. All of our home runs are coming in from out here, and we've got our main feed coming from up and above, and we are ready to flip some power on just as soon as we get our meter installed. Yesterday, Hilco was here running the underground, so we actually have some of all the conduit is ran underground, and we're ready for power. We're just waiting on that meter base. Everything else is ready here, and we do have the shop already insulated. We put a closed cell in the shop, so you can see one of the reasons why in this area you need to use the closed cell. Number one, as we discussed earlier, to help prevent from shrinkage. Number two, it's not as porous, and so you can't just stick your finger through it, and you don't want people coming into your shop, especially if it's going to be on a lower level, and being able to penetrate it very easily. Now in my shop, you know, I covered this lower area, so it's not something that it's as visible, and our clients may opt to do that as well. And a lot of people will do that, build some type of a workbench, things like that all around. But I do recommend the insulation because it will give you a great bit of temperature adjustment from the outside to inside. I know my shop, it's easily 15 degrees difference, which helps take the edge off if you're having a real cold day. Of course, you could add, you know, heater, things like that in the shop if it was, you know, too bad. But this is a great way to insulate the shop. I like it a lot better than the you know, the vinyl bat insulation. That, although that does look cleaner, definitely can't beat that. But as far as the effectiveness of insulation, this is a good way to go. So we are going to be putting some PVR panels, or the R panels, on these walls. We've just got to get our banding done, and the panels, we've been waiting on the panels. So, and then we wanted to go ahead and spray foam in here as well, so we didn't have to cover this wall. So this will be next. We'll be putting the rest of these panels on, and I think I've got a little more side panels to put under the porch, and that'll be all completed. But one of the things I like about having the zip system between the panel and the interior insulation is that if for some reason I needed to pull a panel off, you know, for instance in the shop, if there was a problem with the panel, it could pose a real problem for me replacing that panel, you know, especially if it got damaged, if somebody ran into the building, if, you know, whatever might happen, it becomes a little bit of an issue to replace that panel. Well, here, that's not a problem. So I like that versatility where we have the zip system. You know, we could pull a panel off, put it back on. You know, one of the things we do is we use the banding from stud to stud. And then also, if you had to pull a panel off, you can just seal up the holes and then put new holes, or put it back in the same spot, and it's gonna be tight. So, you know, one of the reasons we use the band is because stud to stud, you can't line it up just perfect with the panels to hit that row line that you want to have on your panels. So we do the banding for that because it'll allow us to have a consistent line of screws on there. So hopefully on the next update, you'll be able to see that, and we'll have that taken care of. And maybe we'll have some overhead doors installed as well. So, and some lights turned on. So, okay, so another thing since the last video that we've done is we've actually put the exterior gable wall panels on and trim. You can see the rake trim, cap trim at the top. Also, the side panels are all finished, as well as the gutters are installed. And all of the corner trim is put on, and you can see that we've taken care of all of our exterior penetrations. So you'll see our exhaust vent as well on the side. And we are ready to put our septic system in. So where we stand with that is we've already had our sanitary engineer come out. They've drawn a plan, and all that has been submitted as well to the county. So it's ready to be installed. And so we're just waiting to hear back that everything's good to go, and then they'll be coming out and installing the septic system, hopefully fairly soon. That way we'll have that already done. So, okay guys, that's a wrap for this episode on this Barndominium build here in Waxahachie. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button now, because I don't want to have to keep jumping in dumpsters to impress you guys. But in all sincerity, big thanks to you guys. 8,000 subscribers for our channel. That's huge. We're excited about that, and we look forward to keep providing you guys more and more content. So I hope you'll stay tuned and follow along. I'm Josh Helm, wishing you all the best. Thanks for watching. Texas Best. I'm never going to be able to get out of this, right?
You may help you.